You have questions, we have answers. This is Jane Miller.
And this is Ken Miller. Welcome to our show, all about real estate with Ken and Jane. Today's show, we're going to give a market update as we're now done with summer.
Summer finished.
Unfortunately, summer's down, but the weather's still been good, right?
Yeah. Ken, that's really depends, right? Yeah. Some people very sad when summer finished because those people love the shore, love the beach, and but people like myself, I enjoy the fall season. Especially fall,
too.
You see the leaves change color, and it just is, where growing up is pretty much similar to New Jersey weather.
Oh, the falls are great.
Yeah, I love all fall season because everything have its own meaning, right? Yeah, when I was younger, I was very much involved with church, and at that time we're going to a summer camp and things like that. One of the priests used to say, the fall season have its reason. Even in the winter, you can see the tree is, no leaf, nothing, but it's grow underneath, grow the roots. So you need that for the spring. You need that for the summer and the fall. Every season has its own meaning, has its own, way to improve. So the person or the spirit.
Yeah.
So I enjoy the fall.
Yeah, we're fortunate in Central Jersey that we have the 4 seasons, and we do have the leaf changing ability. You don't necessarily have to drive to upstate New York, Vermont, or New Hampshire to see the leaves change color. We get a lot of scenic views from New Jersey.
From our backyard.
Yeah,
there's a Dallenbeck Park near our house. 5 minutes, down the street, and that was like a beautiful, almost looked like, it's beautiful view. We go there all the time, walk our dog all the time there, so it's beautiful. Now let's talk about real estate.
So let's talk about it. We'll talk about the market recap for the summer, but to sum up the year. I think 2025.
It's too early to sum up.
No, but I'm saying, but the market started. Well, the market year to date.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what I meant. Is started off in the winter months. It was a little bit. It was kind of down, depressing, a little sad, and then it
actually. The weather-wise is down and depressing, but the real estate market this year, in the winter, was pretty strong. Despite the interest rate, I was very surprised. Like last year, right?
But overall, the closings, I think, were down.
Because inventory and everything else. So, but last year, I think I remembered in June 15th, most agents' phones stopped ringing, including
last
mine.
Summer of 2024.
Yeah, because school finished about 15th. Yeah, everybody got out of town.
That was unusual when you expect that market in the summer to be the booming market.
Yeah,
it was not.
Because if you buy June 15th, you can close. Probably at the end of July, early August, just enough time for the school. But no, last year. After June 15th, I remember, especially at the end of June, I always have to check my phone and see if phone's working.
Right.
No call. When I call the other agent to check in, either they pick up the phone immediately because they like me, sit next to the phone, or they are down the beach and enjoying themselves because, not busy anyway. And but last year, funny enough, right, in the end of August, there was a rumor interest going to come down. So the Fed didn't move, but the interest rate came down quickly at the end of August. So there was quite strong in September. And then the rate didn't come down. So the interest rate for the mortgage quickly went up over 7. So I was quite surprised early this year, January, February, March, still had a very, very strong winter market. That was because lack of inventory, obviously. Yeah. So we had a pretty good winter month. And spring months is okay. But I think summer months a little bit slow. At the beginning. Mm-hmm. But I think this year, to my surprise, in July, August, we're quite busy. Yeah. Which is
kind of late stages, but the consumer confidence increased more because of the interest rate cut. I think
interest rate the cut, and the rate went down a lot. Now I think I saw someone got as low as high 5. I was quite shocked. Early this year was 7. Touched 7.
That's a big difference.
They're quite different. So that's why Ken, every time right when the interest go down, I just know why suddenly a lot of more people come to open house. Also, you can see the agent schedule showing is suddenly out of nowhere.
And that's,
so you just
and
know.
That's a very good comment because we were talking about this off the air that the open houses, you have a few luxury listings, luxury home in Central Jersey, and you were telling me, if I'm not mistaken, you said the property is listed like 1.6 million.
1.6
luxury home right in Central Jersey, and you would expect on any given normal Sunday that a nice Sunday for that market, that luxury market, if you get 3 to 4 people,
maybe 5 or 6
for that price
tops.
range, that would be a very successful, well-attended open house. But you're telling me that this past week, which
Sunday,
is well into September now,
over 30 families.
You had over
30 families because
30 families coming
over
to look
30 families
at a $1.6 million house.
Yeah. Think about it, Ken. Right? I mean, even Central Jersey, it depends where the house is, right? I mean, some area, North Jersey is still up. Maybe in certain areas, 1.6 maybe doesn't get you much, but in East Brunswick, 1.6 is pretty much top of the line, right?
Yeah.
So I truly didn't think we will get more than maybe 5-8 families, right, who can afford that price tag. But the nice surprise, we had over 30 families came, and everybody loved the house. And once again, Ken, for luxury home, it's not only the facilities. It's really a lot of extra, time and the thought and the material,
it's not just
workmanship.
Because the size, there's plenty of homes, but the luxury homes, the craftsmanship, the
craftsmanship is very, very important. Well thought out. That house is, absolutely.
Every detail. Plus, that house, if I'm not mistaken, was custom built by the owner, who's a builder. So
yes, beautiful. I mean, I have to say, every time I represent the client, I'm so proud because he built a house with a passion. So that's why, me, I sell house with my passion. So I see a lot of, his value and my value is in line, right? Mm-hmm. We all strive for the excellency.
Yeah.
So he put
his heart and soul into that house.
Yes, you can see
every detail, every crown molding.
Yes.
It was just so
everything
eloquently designed. So.
Yes. And a lot of time it's not about a house. It's for him, it's his passion. His passion to be, perfect. Or he always set up the new kind of goal for himself. It's just like, if you ask him which house is the best, he said next one, right?
Oh,
so it's like me. I mean, just a passion to strive for the excellency and continually improve ourselves. Mm-hmm. So that's really what I admire and, what I enjoy working with him. But I'm so happy, I thought it was going to be, 5-8 family, but very happy to see the strong market.
And it's so interesting because it just tells you that the interest rates and the consumer confidence are there, even though it's after the schools have started. You would think that somebody would buy that house, would have a family that's already has children that are in the school age, possibly. But despite the fact that we're in September, schools have all started, it didn't stop the interest from being there. So to me, that's a very good sign that the market is really.
Once again, the market has been stable, so we don't want to alarm anyone. The market has been stable. But I think for this house particularly, right, there's a few things. Number one, the buyer could be living in town already. They just upgrade themselves to this beautiful home, magnificent home, right? Secondly, a lot of time the people, maybe the children finished high school, went to college already. So that's another possibility. Or sometimes for this price range, sometimes their children may go to a private school or religious school. So that's really, another maybe reason, right? We had so much interest. But from what I see, the over 30 families, at least half, 1/3 to a half, actually the people already living in East Brunswick.
Okay.
Because I see them from other luxury homes when I met them. So
for them, it's just an internal transfer without schools or
they
job commuting. It's all that makes sense.
They just want to, better home, bigger and newer and more kind of their preference home.
Preference, yeah. Interesting, yeah. So overall, what would you say for the summer market this year, 2025, as compared to last year? Last year we went over, it started
last
slower,
year was slow.
And it wasn't until the middle of August that you really the market got rolling. This year the market was pretty much riding along even. It was riding along pretty well, and then and you're seeing that continue now into the fall. Into the fall, right?
You know, Ken, that's so funny, right? I mean, I could be wrong here, just my own, understanding of the market. I think every year, unless really something suddenly happened, like COVID or anything, or government suddenly offer special, like first-time home buyer, or second-time home buyer intensive, right? Unless it's something dramatically happen, every year people want to buy and sell pretty much, same, pretty much the number I'm talking about, the number of families buy and sell, pretty much similar numbers.
Oh, you're
right?
saying it's in harmony now between the buyers and the sellers, so there's not a surplus or a shortage of homes. It's a nice, even exchange.
It wouldn't be, nothing's perfect, but it's more or less, it's pretty much stable now.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people, they want to buy. I mean, in the rush they already did. I mean, now, people buy it if they see something they really like. They no longer as rushed as before. Before, like, oh my God, they have to buy because they either live in an apartment or somewhere. They want to save for the family. They want to bring their family member together with them, especially elderly parents. So there's a definitely need to buy now, today, right now. And the more crazy the market was, the more make people wanting it now. But now it's like pretty much, there's a house on the market. I know it's not a lot. So that's why the price still keep where it is now. So, the people, I think is supply and demand is reasonably.
It always comes down to supply and demand.
Yeah, supply and demand. So if the more house available and less buyers, and then the price go down. So if there's a less house available, more buyers suddenly come to the market, such as decrease in the interest rate. So the price will stay or slightly higher. So
all right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll discuss that more right after these messages. Stay with us. Okay, welcome back to our show. So we're recapping the summer market. So Jane, we mentioned that the supply and demand seems to be in harmony, that there's enough buyers for the sellers that are out there. What about the price? How have you seen the pricing go this summer quarter of 2025? Is it stable, going up, going down?
I feel, once again, it's just I was wrong at least twice in that cycle already, but I'm not sure this time. And I feel that the price is pretty much reached its peak. But I was wrong last year. I was wrong year before. Yeah. So, but I don't think, once again, don't get me wrong here, Ken. I'm not saying tomorrow the price is going to go down huge, no. But what I'm saying is, I think the price reached its peak.
But I'm sorry to interrupt. But when you say that, though, I'm still seeing among the residential market, even though the sellers are asking, $800, and they're getting the house. The winning bid is $850.
It depends. Once again, right?
Everything depends on the house.
It depends on the house. Depends on the situation. For example, the reason I'm glad you brought it up. Like, for example, a lot of professional, like myself, may have the similar view. The market reached peak. Say, I sold a house for $800, similar house, right? Past few years, now I'm going to ask a 25x50. Why? Because I know market's on the rise. Now I know the market is even it out or reach its peak. I don't think they're going to go down this point yet. But I can say, you know what? Instead of asking 805 because the other house similar sold 805, let's get 799.9. Just below 8. So if I have 2-3 people really want it, they may push out 8.5, 8.10, 8.20. If not, at least we get 800. So I think that's could be one reason explain what you just said, phenomenon, right? Because why people go up? Because a lot of people may want to lease the price is like pretty much in the right dot. And then it depends. Say, for example, if I lease the house now where I think it should be or slightly lower than that, the interest rate suddenly just dropped, right? This week I heard someone got high five, so I thought, oh my God, 2 months ago there was 7, right? Think about it, Ken. If I met the seller 2-3 months ago, which is always often, right? You meet them a few months ago. So they said, okay, I decided to hire you. Let me get my house ready. We give some recommendation. Now the house go on the market. So a few months ago, the interest rate was 7%. So at that time, I think the house was, say, for example, 800, right? And now, because the interest went down so much, we may get more.
Because it all comes down, from the buyer's perspective, it all comes down to the monthly payment. So they can the difference of 1% in the interest rate is huge in the monthly payment. So the price at 800 versus at 810 or whatever, it's the same to them.
Same thing every month, because the buyer driven by monthly payment. A lot of people don't understand that. And the seller said, why? I mean, they either pay the seller as a contract price, or they pay to the bank as a monthly payment, right? Interest. You have the selling price, you have the interest rate, you have the property tax, you have HOA if you have HOA, if you belong to HOA. But that's all the variables calculate the monthly payment. So that's right. That's why when the interest went up 1%, you remember a few years ago, suddenly interest went up in June. One day they went up, but like 1%.
And then all of a sudden the phone stopped ringing.
No. First of all, phone ring, they want to get out.
Yeah.
I had that day in June, a few years ago, when the interest first time started to go up, it's like so quickly. So that day, 2 contract was canceled during the attorney review. It's not because the buyer couldn't afford it. They were so scared. Suddenly they realized the monthly payment is $200-300 more. So that's really shocked everybody. And after that, people get used to it. They came out again. But the initial shock is there. But in this case, it's initial surprise, nicely surprises here. So if now you're buying a house versus 2-3 months ago, for the buyer perspective, the purchase power is bigger. Yeah. So because rate went down, a lot of buyer may feel that's just it, wait because the rate may go further down. But I would suggest you don't wait because you're buying a home to live in, right? It's not like you buy investment property. If you buy investment property, it's simple. When you buy home, a lot of emotional. You may find a similar home, but emotionally you may not as connected as the one you see now. And later on, even the house you may think you could get a 10, 20, 30,000 cheaper. If you calculate per monthly, right, it's really not much.
Yeah, then there is the subjective factor that a lot of people, they just love the home, they fall in love with it for the location, the feel of it, so they'll knowingly pay more or bid it up.
That's a lot of buyers say they knowingly pay more, but they didn't, because at the end of the day it's a market.
Oh, because somebody else would have taken it from them. So,
that's right. So the people will say to me, Jane, how much you think your seller gonna let it? Gonna let us have it or let it go? I said, at this point is not how much my seller, when you have a multiple offer situation,
it's whatever the market determines.
Is how much the other buyer wanted. Right? Yeah. Compare with your buyer. Right. So this among the buyers take seller out of the equation.
Yeah, and the market adjusts itself based on the competitive bids you get, right? Whoever wants it more usually pays more for it. That's the way
if you love it, it's in life, right? Yeah. If you go somewhere, you see some food I like.
You're gonna pay.
I'm gonna pay.
Quality of the food is better, the experience is better. You're going to pay more at the restaurant for that same dish if it's prepared better in accordance to that your criteria. Yeah,
exactly. A lot of times in the house, you can't measure because we talked last couple of weeks about the psychology of the real estate, right? This kind of thing is hard to measure. You can't put a number on it. You just total package is the feeling. It's just like I used to tell the buyer, right? He said, how do I know it's the right house? I said, just like first time you meet your Mr. Mrs. Right. You just know it's for you or not for you.
Right.
If you're keeping going back, the house can't make up your mind.
And
I think somehow psychologically telling you bothers you.
Yeah,
May not be the right house.
Yeah, or you have those clients that want the perfect home, so they have a spreadsheet of 15 points it has to meet, and they never can check off all the boxes because there's always something that it doesn't meet. But then after a while, they have to make concessions, and because you're never going to find there, like we've covered in the past, there's no such thing as a perfect home, right?
I have to share with the listener a story, right? My husband Ken have a wonderful, wonderful friend. His name is Joe. That's his real name, okay, Joe. And when we engaged, and Joe took Ken said, let me help you. And he did this research on the diamond. Oh, my God. He had the table set up.
More than I wanted to know about diamonds, right?
Yeah. My husband said, I just want to buy one for Jane. That's it.
The clarity, the shape.
God.
I forget there was like 5 different categories.
Yeah. He was like a spreadsheet. I had so many things. And then he researched a place. He took me there. He was like, and then when the guy took 3 out the first time.
Yeah, they all had ratings, or there was a formula, and Joe said, you won't be able to tell the difference between these two, but one of them, and then...
And I picked one. I said, nope, I just want this one.
Yeah, and turns out that was the most expensive
That was the most expensive one, yeah. And he said, you can't tell by your eyes. I said, no, I just feel in love with it. I don't have to tell by the eyes.
So a lot of times that goes with the houses. That's really, you don't need to know. Yeah, you just know it when you see it, right?
That's right, yeah.
You can go through all the
you see, I saved that jeweler a lot of, headache. Because he only brought 3 up. He thought, could be a long day based on the conversation he had with Joe. It's got to be a long afternoon.
Yeah.
I came in, there was show me 3. I said, this one, that's it. You want to try something? Nope. You sure? Nope. You sure you don't want to see? Nope. I don't want to see anything else. That's it. I got what I like.
Yeah.
So that was funny.
You all agreed you picked a good one, right?
That's right. That's right. Now our daughter wanted.
Yeah, exactly. That's how good it is.
That's my ring.
That's right. That's fighting it for it, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So the houses, so we go through the numbers a lot and the thing, but I think overall the market confidence is very...
I think the market is still
pretty
confident.
good now, just from what you feel on the street, going to the open houses, talking to the buyers that come in there, engaging. There's a lot of confidence in the economy, and I think in the real estate market in particular.
I think the market, once again, right, I don't think the market will go down much in a short period of time, and at least for finish the year, the last quarter of the year, I don't see this much changes because once again, inflation's still there, right? When the inflation's there, I don't see the house market will go down.
And the signal from the Fed is that there could be more interest rate cuts coming. So so the sentiment on the street is that looks positive for the buyer's perspective.
Yeah, for the real estate, yes.
Yeah. So so looking ahead now to the fall, the fall market and rolling into winter, you see it being stable.
I see the stable, Ken, and nowadays, right? And the cycle has been changed. Not like it used to be that people put a market in April and Easter time, and they close in June, July. Yeah. Now it's a whole year.
Yeah, it's it used to be, if I'm not mistaken, it used to be like 15 years ago that by the time you got to November, you kind of, that was, if you didn't sell your house by November, you kind of cut it.
It used to be July,
or even
September.
The summertime.
No, September 15, you reduce
But that's why I think the market shifted, because even with rentals, I used to think that the rental season, if you didn't rent the home by the spring or by mid-July, you were out of luck. But then you had recent success with a house that just went on the market kind of late in the season after August, and it was able to and it was a single-family house, 4 bedrooms, and you were able to find a tenant,
good
tenant for them. In September, they just moved in.
You know what?
So that tells me that the economy and at least in the real estate market, there's still that demand even in the off season. It's still rolling.
I think that first of all, I think the rental market is more sensitive to the seasonal changes compared with for sale. For sale is the last now. It's pretty much, anytime is a good time. So in the winter, you have a less buyer, true, but you have a very motivated buyer because buyers don't go out in the cold, in the rain, in the snow because they for fun. They really have a need for it. Yes. So that's even it out. And for rental, I think based on my experience, November, December is tough because no new hire, very rare new hires start in November, Thanksgiving and New Year. They normally start in January. And a lot of people, they want to get ready for the holiday. They don't want to move either. So but September is still good season for rent. October, the same. But when you get into November, especially late November, it could be, just like have to wait for January. So the new season start. Yeah. But in general, I mean, I for the rental, put on the market as soon as you decide. So that's really very important because they're more seasonal. Sensitive.
Yeah, usually that's been the case. But I bring up this year was a little bit different in particular because you had that rental that went pretty quickly.
Yeah, quite a few went quite.
Which is encouraging for the whole overall real estate market when you see something like that happen.
Yeah, but I don't know, Ken, that's for the lucky or general. But normally, after September, the rental market slow down a lot. Because the school already start, right? But for sale market, it doesn't matter because the people still buying. Because a lot of time,
because New Jersey is a densely populated, a lot of opportunities for companies, a lot of job transfers, relocation. So there's people that need to move
and also I feel for nowadays the buyer age is getting younger now. So, they can afford a nice home, even though they may be late 20, maybe early 30 or something.
Yeah, that's the other interesting thing.
Children
that's
are young or no children
yet.
With
the way with the way the prices have gone up, increased so much, yet you're seeing the younger, young generation buying these $700,000-$800,000 homes.
Yeah, so they all pretty much 30, 40. Yeah, they're 30.
That's very encouraging.
Used to be you have to wait till you're at least like a 50 above, right? Can afford.
At least you would upgrade in the past. You would start with a starter home and then maybe sell and then buy your dream home as your second or third home.
Now
some
most
of them are just going for it on their first go around.
Yeah,
right?
first go around. Yes, they're from the rental. Luxury
cool.
rental. Yeah.
All right, very good. We are out of time, so I guess we'll do a year-end recap.
In 3 months.
It's kind of scary that 2025 is moving along pretty quickly.
So fast. My God.
Already have Christmas stuff out in the some of the Home
stores,
Depot or Lowe's, wherever it was at. So that's kind of going a little too fast. We want to celebrate, enjoy the fall harvest, enjoy Halloween. We got a lot more to look forward to.
Yeah.
So, all right. We hope everybody enjoyed the show. We'll see you next week and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you.